Hello! Today I will show you how to correctly install the virtual machine in QEMU KVM. Why? Just because in the beginning, when I decided that I want to show you how to make it with direct type, I knew that there is a problem because I already tested it and I knew that there is no ping between host and virtual machines and there is no option to ping between virtual machines. I mean, to ping each other, right? So I was looking for a solution and I already have found it. So I decided, okay, I will record a new video about how to edit the configuration of the virtual machine made in XML files and how to properly change those values that are needed to fix the problem with currently installed virtual machine. And I did it. But today I would like to show you how to properly install the operating system, the virtual machine, using actually two methods. One is a standard way that I already presented, but I will exactly explain one thing that makes a difference and allows you to work correctly with the virtual machine and after the installation the ping is working correctly, and I will also present it. And the second is the Virt-Builder that I'm going to present, and you will see that there is a much more convenient way of install the virtual machine and to make it faster, and you don't have to waste your time to actually install the operating system, but it's something that it's downloading the, let's call it, template of the virtual machine of the operating system, right? And then it's installing it very, very quickly. So I'm going to present it. So let's switch to the CLI and I will explain everything there. So first of all, what we want to do usually is something called a directory that will contain the ISO images. If let's say that you want to install operating system, and I will present later a list of available systems for the Virt-Builder, and you will see that it doesn't contain every operating system, right? So sometimes it may happen that you want to install the operating system that is not listed, so you need to download the ISO image. So what to do actually to make it as most convenient and together with good practice, so you will be able to manage it easily, and for others the documentation will be pretty clear. Quite easy. All you have to do is to go to the root file systems, and if you will list it, you will see that there are directories that are already there after the installation of the operating system. So we are on the host, right? And what I did, I created with sudo mkdir command the directory called ISO. I'm not going to create it, but you can do it this way. And then what you need to do, actually, you need to change the permission to 755. I already explained it in a different video and what that I recorded a long time ago about permissions in Linux, so I don't think I need to explain this here. However, it will be quite quick. LSLA ISO should also display the information, so sudo hmode 755 means it's read and write for the owner and read for the group and read for the others. So next thing you need to do is just to change the user to QEMU. So change, right, -R, capital R, recursively to QEMU, and QEMU, it means the first one is the user and the second one is the group, and for the ISO directory. That because the Virt-Builder and virt install command, because we are using virt install and virt-build, Virt-Builder actually command, those two are running as QEMU users, so they need to be able to have an access to the ISO image. Then that is why you are owning everything there, and all the images you need to remember that they should be owned as QEMU. So if we go into the CD ISO and we will do this, you can see the image Debian ISO is owned by QEMU already. But if there will be something that is owned by another user, you need to change the permission. I mean, you need to change the owner and the group to QEMU for this image. So you know how to do it. Okay, so the next step, if you want to download something from the internet, let's say that, of course, ISO image, so you can use the wget command to download it from the network location, like this, right? This is an example. I'm not using it, however, this is something that you can use. So we have a downloaded image and we can install it on the virtual machines. I already presented something like that previously, however, I'm going to remind you the proper way of the installation. So let's see something like that. Right, sudo QEMU emg create o pre-allocation metadata, and the format of the disk is QCOW2, and the path to the image and the size of the image. Okay, so I will show you one thing in a browser. Okay, this is about the pre-allocations. Here we have a very good article from James Coyle about this QCOW2 disk images and performance, and below you have the information about pre-allocation metadata, and it informs you that allocates the space required by the metadata but doesn't allocate any space for the data. This is the quickest to provision but the slowest for guest writes. Okay, so we have an explanation. You can use any of those three that are already there. You can read the whole article about this and you will understand the performance of the format actually of this disk. So let's switch to the terminal. Okay, we are back, and what we need to do. What we actually need to do after creation of this image, let's see. Okay, I'm going to do that. I will create this image and you can see it is there. So if we will go to var libvirt images and we'll list it here. So, okay, so permission denied, sudo lsia. So we have a debian.qcow2 image there. Excellent. So the next step is to install the virtual machine with a proper way, right? So what you can do actually, you can install it the way that I'm going to present in a moment. Just give me a second and I'm going to do that. So let's say we want to install it in the CLI, right? So I already presented it in a previous video. However, I'm going to remind it once again. Sudo virt install virt type QVM, name Debian direct2. It can be the name can be any you wish, so we can change it. So let's say we want to change it to Debian, just like that, or Debian 11. It doesn't matter actually. And okay, so something like that, right? Let's clear the screen once again. Name Debian, RAM 2 GB, vCPU, some 2 virtual CPUs, accelerate disk. You have a, and now this is the old path, right? So we need to change it. So that is why I'm doing it this way, because I want to exactly warn you to be very careful what you are typing, actually, right? To check every path, everything there. So now it's okay. We have a proper path, Debian, right? And network. So we changed the type equals direct to bridge equals brix. It's a name of our virtual bridge made in openvswitch. We have a model virtio and virtual port type openvswitch. Okay, so what it is exactly? Let's go back to the browser and we will see that what is going on there. I already presented it. This is the description for the type direct. However, if we will scroll down a little bit, we have two things. First of all, we have model type or model. Network device model as seen by the guest. value can be any network interface card model supported by the hypervisor, right? We are using virtio. So this is something that usually works in most cases. Sometimes you can change it to a different supported model. What about the virtual port? You can see there is a description, configure the device virtual port profile. This is used for 802 QBG, 802 QBH, and Midonet and openvswitch. Because we are using the openvswitch configuration, we have a virtual bridge configured in openvswitch, right? And we have the physical adapter connected to this virtual bridge made and configured in openvswitch that's because we are using this virtual port, right? This is the crucial step. We are going to inform the virtual machine that we are using a virtual bridge created in openvswitch. And this way it will be able to connect to this virtual bridge properly and create something like network address translation. And we will be able to ping between virtual machines and between host and a virtual machine, right? So this is exactly something what we need to do. Okay, so we have this and we can install it this way, right? And OS variant, I will describe it in a moment and I will provide the information how to check the OS variant. And we have a Debian 11 here. Location is ISO Debian, ISO image, graphic nodes, and this way it will work, right? I'm not going to do that because I already did it. So the only one different is actually this, the network section. Okay, stop it. Okay, so the next thing is what you can use actually, right? And sometimes it may be helpful. Not every time, but it depends on your configuration, and I'm going to explain this in a moment. The same command, but this time be careful and see the location difference, right? And now I'm going to install it just because the installation is complete. I will break it in a moment, but you can see I'm using the location, not the ISO image, but you can see something like this. The location is from the network, like this one. So it will work, and I'm not going to do that. I already aborted it, and if we will do this, so sudo and lsl, you will see we have a Debian CQ. Okay, it doesn't matter actually, but this is something that is going to work, right? And if you will do this way, it will work. Why? Why this option will work? Okay, something is unrecognized, and probably this is something where I made a mistake there. Yeah, I know, the backslash. It should be the backslash, so this is the reason. C, Control O, once again, something like that, right? The location is HTTP, FTP. So imagine the situation that, for example, you have a proxy in a company, right? And you know that the only working port is port 80. 443 is blocked, so there is no HTTPS, right? So you are unable to download the ISO image because usually there is no HTTP version of the website, for example. Sometimes it is working, like I presented for the Debian image in ISO format. However, it may happen that the only way to download the ISO image is to download it through the HTTPS, and there is no option to make it work. But you have something like FTP from Debian that is using the HTTP, and it will go exactly through the proxy, right? Hit the enter and you will see, okay, it's in use because what the previous installation is working. Okay, so by the way, we will make it easy to troubleshoot it. Sudo psaux, and we will try to grab it by the name of the through the Debian, and you can see the QEMU, and in the beginning key we have a PID. So we will use it, and we will use the command sudo kill -9 space and number of this PID. It should delete it, and if you will perform once again, there is only, it's a result that is returning, but there is no actually process running. So if I will try to run this once again, okay, and I don't see it is running the way it should actually. So we will try to run it once again, and let me check this. Exactly this, and I hope this time it will work. It's already in use by guess, so check the path use of our override. So okay, it's in use, so we can actually use something else. I can investigate later why it is a grip. We can try to do this QEMU, and we will see. Actually, this there is nothing like this. So sudo lsrl sudo lsrl, and we can see probably it is in use. So I think I can investigate it, but this is something that I don't have time for this. We can get rid of this file totally. You can remove it, and if I can try to remove it, sudo and rm and this Debian file, and I think I will be able to. And once again, this one, and there is nothing like here. So if we will do this once again, something like that, and we will create a disk, and we can try to use it. Just give me a second. This, and it should work. Okay. We can do something like this, and we can use this, and it should work actually. Okay, domain installation doesn't appear to have been successful, so let's check this with the vir sudo virsh list all, and you can see something like that. So sudo virsh, and I will just switch to the sudo I and virsh undefine Debian and remove all the storage. Go back here, use the image once again, sudo lsil, and okay, we will try to create once again, copy and something like this, and you should see that the installation is starting, and we are retrieving the image exactly from the internet. I will break it in a moment, and you can see the installation started. So actually it is a network installation, not from the ISO, but from the FTP server. Control the right square bracket. It will let you to go into this screen, clear. Okay, and we will use the psaux. Check this, grab Debian, and once again sudo kill -9, and this bit should work. And also sudo virsh list all, and you can see it already created a machine. So sudo I, and we will do the cleanup. Okay, let's go back. So this is the way we can work. we can install it from the network location and from the ISO image. That is fine, okay, because sometimes it happens, yeah, we want to use a ISO image or network location because Virt-Builder doesn't have a template of the operating system, or it may be sometimes problematic. And I'm going to show you exactly the problematic installation of Debian 11 with the Virt-Builder, and then I will also present you the Fedora installation and how it works. This time it will be much quicker. So what we want to use, actually, by the way, it's good to show you something. I just want to do that. Just give me a second, because I want you to show the OS variant list. This is something that is crucial. Virt install, but I use the sudo OS variant list. This command exactly shows the variant. It doesn't show the templates because we will use the Virt-Builder to show it. OS variant list is important because it allows you to optimize the image of the operating system and optimize the virtual machine, and thanks to this it is working much more efficient. Of course, the accelerate configuration also, this flag allows you to accelerate the machine. However, optimization of the machine is also important. Okay, so we have this, and now we can use sudo libvirt Virt-Builder, no libvirt, but Virt-Builder, and we will list the available of all those templates that Virt-Builder has, right? You can install, you can see openvswitch, Fedora, and also Debian. So we have a Debian 11. And let's imagine a situation that we want to install the Debian 11 using the Virt-Builder. However, what we need to do actually in the beginning, we need something like file that stores the password for the root user, at least. And why? Just because Virt-Builder is reading only one line, the first line from the file, so you can only define a password for a root user, and this is how it works. And after that, after the installation of the machine, you can use a bash script to create more users with passwords. But this is for convenience. You need to just want to install actually a quick way, a virtual machine that you need to do something, right? So you need to have a password. I already have it. If I will go to my home directory and I will list it, I have a password and pass. So I can use both, and both stores different passwords for root users for different operating systems. Okay, excellent. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I want to create a disk, and you can see the Debian 11 is a template. This is not OS variant. This is a template from the Virt-Builder, right? From this command. Format the same size, actually the same spot to this file. And let's say I want to install it something like Debian version -v. It will be from the Virt-Builder to make it different. And file home, my username, and name of the password, right? And let's see what will happen. All you have to do, you have to run this command only once. It's able to survive the rebooting of the server, so it is downloading the first time, and after that, it is using this existing template in your operating system. And I will record a separate video where those templates are stored and how to manage them, etc. If you want to make free space, so we can remove it, and after that it will be downloaded. I already downloaded the Debian template, so I'm going to present you later how it is working when you are downloading something new, the new image. So you will see the difference, but it's quick, right? It created the disk. So if we will go to cd var lib virt and images, and we perform sudo lsrl, you will see we have a Debian 11-v image, and it has 10 giga, and so LH or HLH, you will see this, right? 11 gigabytes. Excellent. And we want to do something like that. We want to install this, and we want to be able to make it work this way. I'm going to present it in a moment, but I want to be sure that everything is working as expected. So we will use this command. Clear the screen, shift insert image. So in the beginning, I can try, I will just because I need to use a sudo. So it will be with sudo in the beginning. Okay, once again, sudo virt install, right? Virtual type KVM, name Debian 11v, RAM 2 gigabytes, accelerate, disk path, and we have a path to our Debian 11v, vCPUs, OS variant Debian 11, network bridge, the correct one. And here we can have something like OS variant, right? And we have this, and this is an optimization, and this is acceleration for the virtual machine. And if I hit the enter, it should work just this way. And you should be able to see this. And just give me a second, and I will provide you a way. Yeah, you are going to install the virtual machine. You can see the secure shell file, but it doesn't matter. Debian 11 is installed. So if I will go to root user and I will log in like that, maybe I can try, yeah, the wrong password because I have two files. Okay, let's check the different. And now, yes, it's working. And what the problem is here, if I will type IPA, there's a problem with this. So what you need to do, what you need to check actually in Debian. The first thing, cat etc network interfaces, of course. And what you can see, here you have interface ENP1S0, and here you have ENS2. Oh, that's strange. So what we can do, we can ENP1S0, we can replace it. We can use the set command. So we will do this exactly. Set I, and we are going to replace ENS2 to ENP1S0. Right in this file, etc network interfaces. And if we will cut this, voila, it's working. Okay, the next problem is, if we will do this, it's not working properly. Okay, so we can try to restart systemctl, restart networking service, and we will see is it working correctly. If there is an IPR, there is still problem. Okay, so probably you can be sure that something is connected, right? We don't have a host name, so we can set a host name ctl, set host name, and let's say we want to have a Debian 11v, right? And if we will use the host name now, and hostname ctl now, and it's displaying that the static hostname is Debian 11. Okay, so what can be the problem? Actually, now what you should do, all you have to do, you should reboot the server, and you can check if it's working correctly or not, right? This should solve the problem. Okay, there is still a problem. I'm going to log in. And after that, you will see that we have an IP address. We have a routing address. If we do etc resolve.conf, you can see we have a proper problem. Is where located? Probably I think that this image doesn't contain the newest Debian image, right? So what we need to do, we can do something like that. I will show you just in a moment. I'm going to paste this command because I already have this, and just like that, apt get allow release info change update, and then apt update, and then apt upgrade -y, and systemctl restart sshd. Right? This is it. 4 commands as a one-liner. So this way it will take all those repositories, it will update them. Then the first command, it is doing this: apt-get space double hyphen allow hyphen release info hyphen change up space update means get all those repositories and refresh them and update them. Then apt update refresh all those repositories, and usually the first command, this allow release info change, it's changing from 11.1 to 11.5, something like that. I already observed it, and that is why I know that. So then update is refreshing, and apt upgrade -y means upgrade all those packages, and -y means confirm all of this. And the last command, systemctl restart sshd, is restarting the sshd daemon. So the sshd should work. We need to wait a little bit longer, and you can see generating init from fs. So it's downloading the new kernel, and it's generating init from fs file, and it is working. So systemctl status sshd should show that we have an SSHD working correctly. Excellent. So we can do a reboot at the end, and after that the machine will work, and you can see that it's pinging the host, and I will be able to ping from the host to this virtual machine. So let's do this. Here we go. Ping v4 10.10.0.115. And here we go. The ping is working correctly. Excellent. IPA, we have a 120, and IPR goes to the gateway. So we will check. Is it working for the gateway? Yes, it is. Is it working for the DNS? 100. Yes, it is. It is working. So control the right square brackets, and we have access to the host. So ping -c4 10.10.0.120, and here we go. We have a full network address translation, and there is a communication between a host and a virtual machine. And the same way, if I will do with the Fedora, so I will try to install, let's say, Fedora 32 version, right? So I'm going to use this Virt-Builder list. So, okay, sudo Virt-Builder -l, here we go, and we have a Fedora 32, so we will use the Fedora 32 image, and let's say we want to have a Fedora 32 image. Okay, 32, and we will use the same password file here. Shift insert sudo Virt-Builder Fedora 32 format size. Here we go. Hit the enter. And yeah, it's installing. And then we are going to use it. You can see everything is working there correctly, right? So it's creating the image, it's resizing it now, and it should work this way. Then we want to check the OS variant for Fedora, right? So we will see this. Okay, opening, setting password, it's finishing. Here we go, it's done. Let's check the OS variant, sudo virt install and variant list. And here we go, for Fedora it will be Fedora 32, just like that. Okay, so we want to install the Fedora. So we will going to do this. And let's check this. Okay, this command, exactly this one. Sudo virt install, virt type name Fedora 32, disk path Fedora 32, vcpus Fedora 32 OS variant. Here we go. And you will see it's installing automatically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here we go. Less than 1 minute, 30 seconds past, maybe less. Okay, let's do this. And we are here, and here for Fedora, it is working just like that. So we have a 121, and if we will be ping c4 10.10.0.120, you will see it's working. For 115, it's working. So it's pinging the host, it's pinging the gateway, and it's pinging the DNS. So it's working as expected. Here we go, control right square bracket, and now sudo vir console Debian 11v, right? This one, we should be able to get into this machine. Failed. Okay, so I don't know, sudo vir list, just like that. And we have, okay, my fault, Debian 11 here. We have a hyphen, and now we are there, and we want to ping 121, and voila, it's working just like that. So thanks this, you can see we have a working virtual machine, we have working connection, and you can see not every time the installation from the template is working, as expected, just by installing the operating system, and for Fedora it was working correctly. For Debian it wasn't, so I had to repair it, and I already provided you a solution how to fix it, by the way. And thanks that you know that it is possible and you can make it very easily. So for you, it should be your choice now which method you will choose. So as always, as in IT world, we can say it depends. So yeah, it depends and on your needs. So that's the way you can make it work. So you know how to install it, you know how to configure it. Now you should be able to solve problems on your own. And if there is something that you cannot handle and there is a problem that you cannot resolve, please ask me. Do not hesitate to ask me for a solution, just because I will be probably able to solve your problem, and I will record a new video about this, and thanks to this you will be able to learn how to solve the problem. I will learn something new, and other people will also learn the way how to make it work, and thanks to this we all have knowledge and we will gather it, and thanks to this you will be able to work more efficiently in the future with the future future installation, future configurations of the virtual machines in QEMU KVM, but not only, also probably with other problems. So thank you very much, have a nice day, take care, bye bye, or have a good night, right? Bye bye.